Hi guys, I'm Frostadamus and welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna talk about the subject of how to become a better World of Warcraft player. And this is a bit tricky. A lot of people watching these videos are already very good World of Warcraft players. Even I don't consider myself a very good World of Warcraft player, and probably most of the people watching this video, some of them are better than me in various ways. But one thing I learned in 12 years that this game has been released, it's that you can learn something new every day if you're open to it. So maybe that's the magic of the game. So the subject we want to talk about today is key bindings and macros, especially macros. I'm gonna focus on that. Probably I'll make a different video about key bindings. And how can they help you on becoming a better World of Warcraft player? Now, you'd be amazed to know that probably half of the people playing World of Warcraft don't even use macro, maybe more. And you do them once and they help you forever. They're like, what are macros exactly? It's a way to modify a spell or ability to make it more easier for you to play. And all the classes can benefit from macros, especially some classes like hunters, warriors, mages, even healers. So let's go into a basic macro. What we have here, it's a counterspell macro that will stop the cast of any spell you have in the cast progression bar and cast counterspell. If you don't have this spell, you'll have to jump or press escape key to cancel your current spell. But if you have this macro, it will be like bread. Now look at me, I have a fireball on the cast and it automatically cancels the fireball and and counterspells the enemy spell. So where is this macro actually useful? In PvP, it's imagine a priest casting a greater heal while you have a fireball on cast or a frostbolt. Imagine fighting a boss that does a greater heal and you're on the frostbolt cast and you say, oh, I want to hit this spell, it's 1000 damage, but the heal it's like 5000, so it's a loss of DPS, if you can say that, or it's not a profitable situation, as I used to say. So this is a basic macro. Our next macros that we're gonna take a look around are the two spells in one macro, in one keybind. So we have here, for example, Ice Barrier. If I press 5, I get the Ice Barrier, and if I hold Shift 5, I get the Mana Shield. What this does, it helps you clean your interface clean. Maybe you've seen a lot of players with 10 action bars on top or on the sides, and everything is so crowded on the screen you cannot figure it out what's happening. And this is the best way to make, let's say, spell management. And it's not only spell management, it's easier to reach. You already know that your mindset, it's used to know that the 5th spell, it's the shield. Imagine if the second shield is still on 5 just by using a modifier. And this is great for a lot of classes that have similar spells that do not share cooldowns or something. It's quite an upgrade to, let's say, upgrade if it's possible. Okay, so the stop casting, let's go back to the stop casting macro. It can be used to various spells like blink, polymorph, you can use it as well, but on polymorph you can use a different macro. Let's say you're fighting this mob or this player and an enemy player comes from this side. You just mouse over him while you have this target and it will ship him. And if you don't mouse over the player, it will ship the dead target. It's quite a very good add-on, and it can be used with a lot of spells, especially for healers. And if you use the curse or dispel, if you use blind for rogues, it's great. Imagine an enemy coming to you to stun you, and you just have a mouse over add-on, and you put the mouse over the player and ship him. The great thing about this macro, it's let me select it. It's not that it's just great. It's because if you have it doesn't modify the original spell. If you have a mob selected like this, it will ship that one. If you put the mouse over, it will ship that one. Now I'm gonna target that one, it will ship that one. Yes, it will. So it's a great macro to have, and it works with a lot of spells. If you have any ideas of few macros, please leave a comment below. We can figure it one out if you think that it will work with you. Where does this work? It works actually everywhere. It works on PvP, especially on PvP. It works on PvE. Let's say, for example, you're focused on damaging one mob and you don't want to stop, retarget, ship, then retarget again. You just put the mouse over. Let's say you're on Stratholm on the Scarlet side. A lot of mobs are coming. You're focused on DPSing that guy. When your mob comes here, you just ship it. Yeah, this is a great macro, and it can be used with a variety of spells. The next macros I'm gonna focus on are different ranks of spells and same button. So in vanilla, you already have a lot of spells. On occasion you can use them all. Let's focus on Frostbolt. The rank 1 Frostbolt has 1 second cast compared to the rank 10 Frostbolt, this is with talents of course, which has 2.5 second cast. The Frostbolt applies a 40% slow to your enemy, and if you have improved with permafrost, it applies an extra 10%, which is 50%. If an enemy is running towards you like this guy is, you won't have time to cast an entire Frostbolt. So you, by holding down shift, you can apply the slow effect within 1 second, which is a great add-on. It's like a new spell. It's having an advantage above other players by having a new spell. That's what this macro is, and it can be variously modified. It's like by holding down shift I cast rank 1, by pressing the normal keybind I press rank 10. And this is not the only way you can modify this. Let's say, for example, in vanilla you run fast out of mana. If you fight 2 or 3 players or many mobs, you will run out of mana. Let's say this mob remains with 300 HP. All your instant spells are on cooldown, like Fire Blast is on cooldown, Cone of Cold, it's out of range. You can opt for casting a Scorch with 1.7 cast, or you can opt for modifying this macro even further, and by doing if Alt or Control key it's down to cast Frostbolt rank 3, which is a 1.7 cast instead of Frostbolt rank 10, which is 2.5 second cast. You win 0.8 seconds on that move. Let's see if we can get this mob down to a normal, to an HP where we can make an, let's see, 500, 400. Let's see, your player that you're fighting remains with 300 HP. If you have shift control modified with rank 3, you're gonna cast a 1.7 cast spell and hit for 254, which is great. This works on even rank 2. Let's make a test to see how much each spell hits. Oh. So you can modify this even for a lot of classes. For a warlock, for different classes, you can modify a spell like that. So just keep in mind that different ranks of spells can mean something different than just a Frostbolt. Can mean a new spell. So if you have any ideas on a macro that we can make for a whatever class, just put it down in comments below and we can figure it out. Now, a new macro that we want to talk about, it's the mount. Let's say, for example, you have the carrot on a stick. How many times you forget it on your trinkets, and if you don't use trinket menu, you leave it there for a whole period of farming or PvPing. You just wake up, oh, I have my carrot on a stick equipped. How many times on a raid you forget about it and you start DPSing and something it's tricky about my DPS, I'm not critting that often, and you find out that you have your carrot on your stick equipped. So a macro I found out about this, it's quite simple. You use the SuperMacro add-on. This will allow you to use the /use feature, and you use /use your name of the mount, and then you go equip carrot on a stick and equip your normal DPS trinket. So this will work like this. I'm pressing the mount keybind and my carrot will equip. I'm pressing my mount keybind to dismount. I'll get the Eye of the Beast back. I'm pretty sure there are some mods out there for doing this, but I haven't found one, so I came out with this macro which works fine for me. And even if you fuck it up by pressing twice, you can just press again the key binding and it will equip it. It's the same key bind as your mount, so it won't interfere. Now, the spells modifier, especially for mages, and I'm pretty sure for other classes, mostly mana users or I don't know, can be used like Arcane Explosion. I have same. If I press my 0 key, it will cast Arcane Explosion rank 6, which will drain me fast out of mana. And this works on situation, let's say a rogue went into stealth. If I press like 10 times, I'll go out of mana. If I press shift, I'll start casting rank 1. Okay, now another way on how you can use the rank 1 Arcane Explosion. For example, there are various ways. One of them, it's if you go to farm in Silitus, the elementals for Essence of Air. You can use it by, if you want to pull, that's a bad example, but if you want to pull a large pack of mobs, just go by casting Arcane 1 once every 5 seconds. That way you'll hold the mobs on you without losing aggro if you run for a long way. That's another way to use it. And same goes for Blizzard. If you use rank 1 and rank 6, if a rogue goes in stealth right there, you can just use rank 1 Blizzard by holding shift and getting out of stealth. It's basically a new spell if you look at it like that. Now I do not have all the macros. There are other macros that I can use. For example, I have here the Mage Armor and the Ice Armor on two different buttons. I can use a spell that uses a cast sequence that will cast by pressing the button once the other armor and by pressing it again the other one, and so on. Another macro that I could do here, it's a mana ruby use spell and a mana ruby to make one in the same button. There are a lot of spells that you can modify here. So if you have any ideas about macros, you want to make one, please post a comment in the comment boxes and we can figure one out. And I'm here to, let's say, teach, but I want to learn as well. I want if you think you know a new macro or something, please let me know as well, because I'm eager to learn also and to become better at this game. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you managed to watch it so far, I hope you learned something new. If you want to see more videos in the future, please consider subscribing or maybe liking the video. It has been a great week for me. I have earned around 40 subscribers, thousands of views, and it's great. I have a feeling that my content it's very bad, and still a lot of people say that it's good, and I'm happy about it, and I hope I will improve in the future on making videos. I'm trying now to make scripts because apparently it's quite hard to make them. It actually, with my computer, it takes around 4 hours to render a video. It takes 1.5 hours to upload it to YouTube. It takes around 1 hour to make the cutscenes and around maybe half an hour to an hour to record it. It's basically a whole day worth of work just for one video, and I know on that time I can be more productive and make better content. I'm gonna improve in the future. So thanks for watching. If you have any tips for me for this channel, for what you want to see in the future, please let a comment down, and thank you very much. Bye bye.